A couple guys are just going to be day-to-day. Some tightness, soreness. We're going to be quick to pull guys out when that happens and take it day-to-day, but no concerns coming out of today's practice.
Trey Flowers kind of answered
day-to-day, yeah. Yep.
Saw Joe out here yesterday, not today. It was just...
Yeah, I've encouraged him to get as much rest as possible when he's not going to be out here practicing.
Okay.
So he pops in the meetings, and then it'll just be take a day-to-day whether he's going to be out here or not.
How do you feel about your cornerback depth behind Eli and Cheeto?
I think there's really good competition there. I think some guys are making the most of the reps. We put in a lot of different coverages, so guys got to process. That's part of it too. But I think overall, Chuck and Rob have done a really good job with those guys through the early portion of camp. Those guys are competing. There's a lot of competitive balls. So far I think we're making good strides in the right direction with all that in that entire group.
How's the first day in pads? How do you think the guys emotionally handle getting hit hard contact?
I think guys handled it well. There's a couple examples. We got to do a better job protecting each other. We're not in a preseason game yet, regular season game yet, but guys will continue to learn. Usually the culprits are the younger guys, haven't had an experienced life in this league, wearing pads. Some of the veterans do a good job controlling their emotions, controlling their body, so that's an area we can continue to improve.
What's the learning curve like for the rookies, especially your rookie cornerbacks and defensive backs?
Oftentimes when they're playing one position, it's not as much as if they're playing outside and inside at the same time. So we try to restrict that early on. I think our guys have handled it really well, and that's a credit to them and the coaches as well. Doing a good job, really thoroughly explaining the intent of the coverages and some of the reactions. And they may understand it, and then you get an adjustment, that's a little more complex, with some of the things we try to do on offense as well that can stress them.
How important is it for the player not to overreact to maybe one mistake or two mistakes in a row and not let it snowball?
That's playing DB in this league, man. You better have a short memory. My dad was a college safety, and he tried to make me a safety as well, and I never took to it. But his coaching point was you got to have a short memory and forget about the last play. And I think our guys, they compete. There's not a lot of big plays they're giving up, but when they do a good job forgetting about that one and moving on to the next play.
I know you're limited on how soon you can put the pads on. Once the pads are on, are you limited by how soon you can do any kind of live periods?
No, you can do live. You just got X amount of full pad days, which we don't really even have enough practice days to maximize them all.
Right.
With some of the games and the walkthroughs surrounding that. But you'll see us out here in full pads every chance we get. Aside from some of those walkthroughs. So again, we don't go in 3-4 day practice spurts. We go in 2 day spurts. So we're going to wear the pads and maximize those days, and then take a day off their bodies on that third day.
You mentioned learning how to practice, taking it to the hill, take that fine line right there, not taking it over that line.
Yeah.
You show tape? You just talk about it? What do you do?
Yeah, both. We spent a lot of time watching tape this morning of the good and the bad. Things that we've learned from past seasons, things that have already happened this training camp. Not taking cheap shots at defenseless players, not necessarily finishing through the whistle in the sense of finishing your opponent to the ground. So just some things we're trying to eliminate bodies on the ground and keeping guys safe and healthy.
Are Kappa and Osai under different circumstances out here? I saw yesterday Kappa was doing some things, and then today he wasn't, but Osai looked like he was able to go.
Kappa was in there.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're just monitoring his reps as we go through team periods. So you might just see him in short bursts and get out, but he was involved in team periods.
He made a point to tell us that he was getting really sick of running over there. Is he getting close to easing his way back in? Or
That's on us. I think he feels great. His surgery was a couple weeks after Trent Irwin's, so we don't need him in there walking guys right now in the early part of training camp. He's going to get plenty of that during the season. So we got to protect him from himself. But he looks good. He's running routes and doing all that. So we're still getting that chemistry. We just haven't yet put him in the 7-on-7, which Trenton's already in. We haven't yet put T in that yet.